Hello, hello! Here I am again to do the next brand review. This one is a suggestion from Jaylene. She recommended Divine Essence. So, this is the one I will be reviewing for you next. Let's check it out. If their website will load. Here it goes. Okay, so this is a brand not in the US. That's what I've been focusing on lately for you guys because you've been asking me, Leah, what do you think about some brands that are not in the US? And I've been putting you off for years. So it's about time that I sit down and review these live for you so that you can see exactly my responses to the different information and things that they provide and present on their website. So let's check out their singles. Go up to here. Single essential oils. I always start from the top. Let's start from the middle and see what they have. So it looks like they're color coded. I like to just dive in and see what kind of safety information they are sharing with all of you. Or do they leave that up to you to share? Not to share. Do they leave that up to you to check out on your own? I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look at lemon essential oil, which is phototoxic, and see if they let you know that it's phototoxic or not. So we have from the peels, we have cold expression of the zest. So this is the phototoxic variety. If this was steam distilled, we wouldn't worry about it. Use, they're suggesting inhalation, 4 to 12 drops to a bowl of hot water or a diffuser. I'm not sure if they mean a steam inhalation because that is way too many drops for steam inhalation. Maybe they just mean a bowl of hot water on your table rather than a diffuser if you don't have a diffuser. Okay, so here is a warning. I don't know if this is a generic warning that they have on all of their essential oils. I personally like to see specific safety for the specific essential oil because all of the safety is really not the same. But a lot of companies do add a generic one similar to this that they add just to cover their butt, which is smart for them. So they're saying external and occasional use only. Oh, really? That's what I haven't heard. Occasional use only. Do not take orally. Well, that's good to see. Do not use undiluted. That's good to see. And then, of course, keep out of reach of children. If accidental ingestion occurs, seek urgent medical attention. Do not apply to the skin before exposure to the sun. Okay, so that is good. Do not apply to skin before exposure to the sun. That is accurate and specific to lemon. I don't know if they have this on all of them, but lemon is phototoxic. Do not use if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. It's totally fine to use if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. It is not a concern if you have epilepsy. May cause allergic reaction. Not necessarily. Okay, so let's see what other information they have. Document. So, Certificate of Analysis in the Material Safety Data Sheet, or the MSDS. These don't really tell you a whole lot. These are going to look pretty similar from essential oil to essential oil. It kind of tells you where it's from and stuff. And this is interesting, but this is not where I look when I am looking for safety information. And this is just giving you some. Sometimes this only gives you some of the GCMS report. It doesn't always give you a full one. It does look like this is super high in limonene. Does this add up to 100? We have 60, 70, 80. It could add up to 100. It's hard to tell just by looking at it super quickly. It's nice to see this. It's nice to see if this does add up to 100. If this is a GCMS report, it's good to know what exactly is all in it. Let's see what the other one is. the MSDS, I should say. Some of this information is the same as the other one. And this is the part here that you are going to see is going to be probably the same for all of the essential oils. They should be the same. They're all flammable. Essential oils are flammable. They should all have a flag for fatal if swallowed and enters airways. This is not specific to lemon. This is just, it's an essential oil, and the MSDS is reflecting this for all of them because they could all cause skin irritation or an allergic skin reaction, or be harmful if inhaled, or very toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. This can be true for all of them. So an MSDS doesn't specifically impress me. Now, I am glad they have it because not a lot of companies even provide this, but this is not telling me it's phototoxic. I am looking for them on their use and dosage when they're suggesting how to use it. Some sort of safety included, which is here, but I believe it to be generic and we will find out. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm looking for more specific information. If they said if you use more than 2% dilution, it's phototoxic, that's what I'm liking to see. So let's see what else. Hey, Linda and Karen. Karen, it took me a minute for it to open as well, so you may just have to refresh the page. Now, lemongrass has a really low topical max, so that's what I'm going to look for when this page loads, if it lets me know it has a low topical max. So this is kind of telling you about it. Steam distilled, use and dosage. So it does look like most of this is the same. What is different is it's not talking about phototoxicity, but it's saying do not use if you have benign prostatic hyperplasia, which I'm not sure why. It's also suggesting 2 or 3 drops and a half a teaspoon. So that is going way over the topical max. The topical max for lemongrass is 0.8%. So let's see what else I can find. Their website is a little bit slow to load. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see, myrrh. Myrrh is one that I like to look at because it is not pregnancy safe. And I like to see if they point that out or not. They might have it as part of their generic warnings. So let's see. It's funny they have this flag as epilepsy or asthma, consult a healthcare professional. Now they are saying do not use if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, but here's the thing. It's looking like all of them say do not use if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. So if you are like me, and not everybody's like me, but when I see a generic warning, it kind of like shuts me off. It's like, okay, you say this for everything. You don't really take it seriously. Just like when you see it on every supplement, on all your vitamins, do not use if you're pregnant or consult your doctor if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. You know that they're saying this to cover their butt just to be safe, but you don't really understand that you really shouldn't use this if you're pregnant. Like this actually should not be used during pregnancy. And you might not take this warning then seriously if it's on all of the essential oils. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. So myrtle has safety issues. Peppermint. Let's see. Now this is one that is recommended for ages 6 and above. Also potentially can lower your milk supply if you are breastfeeding. And if you have GERD, it can aggravate that. Okay, so this is pretty generic still. Oh, it looks like they have avoid exposing treated area to sunlight down here. This is not potentially phototoxic. So this does look like they're using the same basic warning for all of these. And I'm not seeing, let's see, add 4 to 12 drops of steaming to a bowl of steaming hot water or diffuser. Again, if they mean steam inhalation, this is really high. You only want 1 or 2 drops if you're using this in steam inhalation. And in fact, peppermint is really strong. I generally don't recommend using this in a steam inhalation. It can make your eyes sting. It's just super strong. It's that menthol. It's very strong. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more, and then I will look at some of their blends to see how they were formulating some of their blends. But it doesn't look like they're very specific on their safety information. It's pretty generic, so you really can't rely on them for all of the safety. You're going to have to use a resource such as essential oil safety files to see what the safety issues really are. Now, spike lavender is potentially neurotoxic. It's not generally one that I recommend. And that's just it, maybe, depending on what the GCMS report looks like. It's technically safe for all ages in pregnancy and breastfeeding. Depending on the constituents, it may be neurotoxic. But it does also have a 19% topical max, which is rather high and definitely easy to get around and use, but it does have some issues. 2 or 3 drops and a half a teaspoon. So this is another one that seems to be a fairly generic recommendation. And again, a lot of this is also the same. So yeah, so let's look at their blends. Let's see how they're formulating their blends. This is a little bit slow of a website. I'm sorry for the delay. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. So when this loads, where are their blends? If you see any blends that you want me to click on, let me know. Ready to use, formulas for diffusion. There was another website that worded it in this way as well, and they were suggesting that their blends be diffused instead of potentially used topically, which they could. Hey Vicky, how are you? Okay, so formulas for diffusion. So they are recommending, diffusion in massage therapy or even a hot bath. Okay. They have an anti-stress blend, so let's take a look at this and see what's in there. Their prices are reasonable. I was going to scroll down a little bit more to check, but it looked like, though, all of their blends were the same price. So that is a little bit unusual. Typically, blends are going to be reflective of the single essential oils used, some of which are more expensive than others, and typically the blends are going to have varying prices and not identical prices. So for this anti-stress blend, they're using lavender, lemon, orange, thyme, depending on which one it is. Oh, is it thyme? Maybe it's, okay, lemon, exotic verbena, and Spanish marjoram. Okay, Spanish marjoram. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let me show you guys exactly what's in Spanish marjoram and why I prefer sweet marjoram. So Spanish marjoram is for ages 10 and above. So we always want to look for the sweet marjoram whenever possible because that is safe for all ages. So they are suggesting 4 to 5 drops in a teaspoon. That's a 4 or 5% dilution. Anti-stress essential oils are generally going to be more effective when inhaled and not applied topically. And they're recommending to use it in a bath. Add 2 drops up to 8 drops in a neutral emulsifier or foaming base and stir. Bathe for 10 minutes once a day. Interesting suggestions. Okay. Let's take a look at another blend from them and see what it's like. So we have a Breathe blend. Yeah, so all of their blends are the exact same price. That's unusual. Okay, so they're saying there's eucalyptus, not a surprise, niaouli, and cineal rosemary. So this is definitely for ages 10 and above. And then peppermint, balsam fir, and ravintsara, along with palmarosa. So yeah, this is definitely an age 10 plus blend. And it looks like pretty similar warning. I just wanted to check. Okay, so that would be 10 plus. I would go with your own usage recommendations and safety for sure. When it comes to their blends, let's take a look at Zen Meditation. And that's the case with most companies. They may provide perfectly fine essential oils, but their safety often is lacking. It's not thorough or accurate, and their recommendations are usually not on point either. A lot of these companies are businesses that do not hire aromatherapists, so their accuracy is often off or lacking. Let's see. So they have black spruce, sweet orange, cedar, and frankincense. So that is going to be, yeah, I can see how why they called it Zen meditation. It could be great also for respiratory issues. If I looked at the ingredients, I'd be like, oh, that's good for breathing issues. Okay, so I think I'm going to end there. They don't have a ton of blends, so there's not a whole lot more for me to check out. But if you are interested in purchasing either essential oil safety files or essential oil profiles so that you can do your own assessments for companies that you are curious about to know if they are up to par when it comes to the safety and the recommendations that they offer, you can find both of those resources. There's online formats as well as ebook over at uoslibrary.com. If you have any questions about anything that I've said, if something didn't make sense or if you want some clarity, if you are curious for me to check out another one of their blends that maybe I didn't click on, or one of their single essential oils, if you are wondering about that as well, please leave a comment below and I will do my very best to answer those questions for you. So I'm going to get off, upload this to YouTube, and then I will be back for another brand review.